Hey there, my name is Jay. I'm half of Team TT Media, but I also work at Accelerate Performance in the Atlantic Northeast. Today I want to go over this really exciting build we have going on. It's a 2021 Audi RS7, and we are putting a 1 of 125 ABT RS7-R kits on it. So that's a whole carbon fiber body kit, forged wheels, titanium exhaust, power module. It's pretty sweet. I have to cut holes in the side of the car, take the bumpers apart, the interior, because there's a whole bunch of new lights and all sorts of fun stuff. So, with a little bit of luck, some advice, I'm hoping to get this done with no issues. So, let's get into it. Not only is this kit one of 125 made in the world, but it marks 125 years of ABT, which ABT, aside from making sweet body kits, has been responsible for winning races all over Europe since 1935. They have also only produced kits for some of the most prestigious and high-end Audis and Volkswagens to date. Taking the car apart was fairly easy, as it was a 2021 with only 10,000 miles on it. But the front bumper had the most modifications with the least amount of cutting. It was mostly just drilling for the hardware, but every single piece of the body kit got fused to the car using panel bonding adhesive. But before I would fuse anything, I would dry fit everything to the car, make sure all the hardware was drilled and going through easily. Pretty much just triple and quadruple checking everything, because messing up on this was just not an option. As you can see, there's a lot going on here between the splitter with the side fins and the canards on the side and the extra vent pieces in the front and the piece over the grille. It's just a really completely different look for the car, and it was pretty eye-opening once it was all put together. Seeing as how this was a very expensive, brand new car, I started cutting the pieces that were the least scary to cut. So I started with cutting the rear bumper. ABT did supply some very nice stencils for most of the major cutting needed. The rear bumper was fitted with 2 active vents and a big carbon rear diffuser, all of which needed a lot of cutting and trimming and fitting. The rear valance was one of the few pieces that did not come with a stencil, so I had to make my own tape line and figure that out. But as you can see, the rear bumper is going to look way different than before. I would start by taping off the whole area so that no paint would get hurt that wasn't getting cut out, and would work the whole design and stencil over the taped area. Using my multi-tool, because it was going through the plastic easier and was definitely a lot more precise than using a cutoff wheel. So between the multi-tool and a pneumatic belt sander for the final touches, I was able to get all the designs cut into the side of the bumper and all the trimming done with no mistakes, which was very relieving. Now this was by far the scariest part of the whole job, actually having to cut into the metal fenders. At one point I thought to myself how wild it was. I was about to cut holes in the side of this $100,000 car. This kit is 100% irreversible. There's no going back now. But after sweating bullets for a while, I was able to get the holes cut and the vents mocked up with little to no issues. The tape is a lifesaver, and thanks to my friends who gave me some good pointers, I made it through it. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. So now is about where I really break into using the fuser. It comes in a big tube with these mixing tips. He mixes as it comes out. Fun fact about fuser is GM actually uses Lord Fuser to fuse the strut mounts into their cars. So like super strong stuff, never comes apart. It is solid. So here I'm actually gluing the metal mesh into the back side of the vents so that when they go on the car, everything looks all nice and clean and fresh. And then when they go on the car, so you put a bead on the back, and then as you squeeze it on, you line it up, got the stencil on there, and then you squeeze it on, and then a bunch of stuff oozes out the sides. So you gotta clamp it on. I'm peeling off the stencil, and then there's a protective film on top of the piece, so then as I peel it off, I'm wiping the sides and getting all the excess off of there. You use acetone on a rag, and it wipes the stuff right off before it dries. On to the interior. So besides the start button, there was no install guide of any kind for the interior trim, so there was a lot of poking and prodding. Out of all the work I did, the interior was probably the most frustrating part. You know, besides the cutting and everything, there was just no direction for the interior stuff. There was a ton of plastic clips on the dash pad that just did not want to cooperate. But with a little extra tippity-tappy, everything seemed to work out.
Come on. Holy shit.
But even harder still, of all the interior pieces, were the front door sill lights. I had to take out the seats, lift the carpet, and dig way down to the bottom of the car to reach the connector for these lights. It was a pain having to take all that apart. And of course, have to throw in that satisfying peel. Nice. As you can see, all together, installed, looks pretty sleek. So after 2 full weeks of cutting, grinding, sanding, and fusing, let's see the final results. If you enjoyed the build, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, thank you for watching.